In the fierce world of WWE, where devastating moves and intense rivalries are often amplified for the spectacle of the ring, few would expect genuine friendships to exist behind the scenes. But the truth is, some wrestlers have formed bonds that go far beyond the spotlight. Connections built on mutual understanding, shared struggles, and unwavering support throughout the demanding journey of a wrestling career. They are living proof that true friendship can be forged even in a place filled with theatrics and scripted drama. Let's dive into the real-life close-knit relationships between WWE superstars. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, a brotherhood forged in fire and loyalty. In the ever-changing world of professional wrestling, where alliances are often fleeting and loyalties shift overnight, the bond between Triple H and Shawn Michaels stands as a rare, unshakable friendship that has withstood the test of time. These two aren't just WWE legends, they're living proof of a brotherhood carved out through adversity, conflict, and decades of highs and lows. Their story began in the early 1990s, back when both men were still finding their footing in WWE. Shawn Michaels, a rising star with charisma to spare, quickly recognized the raw potential of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a well-mannered yet cold-blooded talent from Connecticut. What began as mutual respect soon blossomed into an unbreakable partnership, both in the ring and behind the curtain. That bond was cemented when they co-founded D-Generation X, one of the most revolutionary factions in WWE history. Together, they redefined rebellion in wrestling, delivering outrageous antics and explosive moments that electrified crowds. But beyond the chaos and entertainment, DX symbolized something deeper: freedom, resistance, and above all, unshakable camaraderie. Every time they stood shoulder to shoulder, fans could feel the authentic energy between them, something no script could manufacture. However, the true depth of their friendship wasn't fully revealed during their prime, but during Shawn Michaels' darkest years. After suffering severe injuries and spiraling into addiction, Shawn faded from the spotlight. While many in the industry turned away, Triple H never did. He remained in quiet contact, watching over his friend from afar, always ready to welcome him back with open arms. And when Shawn returned in 2002, both in storyline and real life, it was Triple H who was right there, unwavering and proud. Their journey isn't just about two wrestlers side by side. It's a story of deep understanding, mutual trust, and a brotherhood that transcends the bright lights of the stage. Today, even as they take on different roles within the company, the connection between Triple H and Shawn Michaels remains untouchable, a legendary friendship in a world built on spectacle and showmanship. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, a friendship beyond the ring. Among the countless emotional stories within the world of WWE, the bond between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio remains one of the most heartfelt tales that fans continue to cherish. These two weren't just among the greatest Latin wrestlers to ever grace the WWE stage, they were true friends in real life, connected like family. Their journey together spanned from being underdogs in the wrestling world to becoming iconic figures, with a brotherhood that endured until the day Eddie tragically left this world. Their friendship began long before WWE, during their early days wrestling in Mexico and WCW. Despite having completely different in-ring styles, Eddie being powerful and cunning, while Rey flew through the air with agility and grace, their contrast only strengthened their connection. They trusted each other implicitly, not just inside the ring during tag matches and rivalries, but also in their personal lives where their support for one another never wavered. When both eventually joined WWE, their relationship only grew deeper. They stood across the ring from each other as fierce opponents, stood side by side as loyal allies, and turned storyline conflicts into unforgettable moments. Yet behind the scenes, they remained inseparable. Eddie often played the role of mentor, guiding Rey through the intense pressure and cutthroat competition of WWE. Rey, in turn, always looked up to Eddie as a big brother and a steady presence in a chaotic industry. Eddie's sudden passing in 2005 left an unfillable void in Rey's heart. But that heartbreak became his driving force. In 2006, Rey triumphed in the Royal Rumble and went on to win the World Championship at WrestleMania, all as a tribute to the friend he had lost. That night, wrapped around Rey's wrist was a black armband with Eddie written across it, a silent vow to live, fight, and carry on the legacy of the brother he would never forget. The friendship between Eddie and Rey went far beyond being co-workers or wrestling partners. It was a deep, genuine bond built on trust, respect, and love, a connection that neither time, success, nor tragedy could ever break. The Undertaker, Kane, from legendary rivals to real-life brothers. On WWE television, The Undertaker and Kane were the embodiment of darkness. Two supernatural forces locked in brutal, unforgiving warfare. Their battles were the stuff of legend, filled with fire, fury, and unforgettable destruction. But what fans rarely saw was the powerful, enduring friendship behind the chaos, a bond that has lasted for over 2 decades, far beyond the reach of any storyline. It all began in 1997, when Kane made his unforgettable debut during the iconic Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Billed as the dead man's long-lost brother, Kane immediately cemented himself as one of Taker's greatest adversaries. From Inferno matches to buried alive showdowns, their rivalry was intense and relentless. Yet, ironically, it was through these very wars that a deep connection formed behind the scenes. Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, and Glenn Jacobs, Kane, have always held profound respect for each other. Their chemistry in the ring was unmatched, but it went deeper than performance. Both shared a strong philosophy toward the business, always prioritizing storytelling, emotion, and the fans' experience above personal glory. Whenever they reunited as the Brothers of Destruction, it wasn't just for nostalgia or spectacle. It was an authentic reflection of their real-life relationship, built on trust, mutual understanding, and unwavering loyalty. The Undertaker has often spoken with admiration about Kane, calling him the most dependable partner he ever had. For Kane, Taker was more than a colleague. He was a mentor, a pillar of support, and a model of professionalism and humility. Even as Glenn Jacobs transitioned into politics and took on the role of mayor, their friendship never wavered. They still check in with each other regularly and continue to show up for one another at significant events. The bond between The Undertaker and Kane proves that even in a world filled with darkness and scripted rivalries, genuine brotherhood can shine through. Their connection is a blazing testament that behind the spectacle, the most powerful story is sometimes the one that's real, a friendship that, like an eternal flame, refuses to die. Sasha Banks, Bayley, a friendship born from passion and perseverance. In the fiercely competitive world of WWE, where every superstar fights to carve out their own legacy, genuine and lasting friendships are rare. Yet the bond between Sasha Banks and Bayley stands out as something truly special. They weren't just opponents who delivered one of the greatest women's matches in WWE history. They've been true friends through the spotlight, the struggles, and everything in between. Their journey didn't begin under the bright lights of the main roster, but rather in the developmental grounds of NXT, when both were still finding their footing. At first, they seemed like total opposites. Sasha was bold, confident, with the aura of a future star, while Bayley came across as shy, innocent, and always smiling. But those differences created a unique connection. They supported each other through long training sessions, shared their worries and dreams, and slowly formed an unbreakable bond rooted in mutual respect and encouragement. When they clashed at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, it wasn't just a match, it was a turning point for women's wrestling. That night, they didn't just steal the show, they made history, proving that true friendship could produce magic inside the ring. Away from the cameras, their support never wavered. Whether one was basking in glory or the other was struggling on the sidelines, they were always there for each other. Both have openly shared that their friendship helped them overcome injuries, self-doubt, and the intense pressures that come with life in WWE. Even though they've turned on each other in storylines and clashed in brutal high-stakes matches, their off-screen bond has never faltered. From public appearances to off-duty hangouts, Sasha and Bayley continue to show up for one another, not as tag partners or rivals, but as real friends. Their relationship isn't just a foundation for their careers, it's a powerful example of authentic connection in an industry where so much is scripted. In a world filled with rivalries and role-playing, the friendship between Sasha Banks and Bayley shines through as something genuine, lasting, and deeply admired by fans everywhere. John Cena, Randy Orton, fierce rivals in the ring, true brothers beyond it. To WWE fans, John Cena and Randy Orton have always seemed like polar opposites. One the righteous hero, a symbol of traditional values and hard work, the other the quintessential villain, cold, dangerous, and unpredictable. They've clashed in countless epic battles, fought over championships, and carved their legacies on the same Hall of Fame-bound path. But off-screen, their relationship is the complete opposite of their on-screen feud, a deep, enduring friendship rooted in mutual respect and a shared journey through WWE's golden generation. Both entered WWE around the same time, rising through the ranks of the legendary OVW developmental system. Back then, they were just two hungry rookies, unknown to the world but burning with ambition to make their names. They trained together, ate together, shared failures and frustrations, all of which laid the foundation for the strong bond they built in the years to come. While Cena's rise to superstardom came earlier, Orton's path was filled with personal challenges and missteps. But what set their friendship apart was that Cena never turned his back. Instead, he quietly offered advice, support, and encouragement, something Orton has openly credited with changing his outlook on both life and the business. Inside the ring, they may have battled like lifelong enemies, intense, ruthless, and uncompromising. But behind the curtain, their understanding of one another was undeniable. Every match they had was a testament to their trust and connection, each pushing the other to deliver at the highest level, not just for the fans, but out of genuine respect. Cena once said that no one understood him in the ring the way Randy did, while Orton has often referred to Cena as a real brother in an industry filled with egos and competition. Their relationship is living proof that in a world where everything can feel scripted, real friendship still exists, built not on convenience, but on loyalty, shared struggle, and a bond that neither fame nor time can erode. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, brothers through triumph and turmoil. In the world of WWE, where most relationships can be scripted or fleeting, the friendship between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens stands as something deeply authentic, built on trust, loyalty, and over a decade of shared struggle. They're more than just co-workers, rivals, or occasional tag partners. They're lifelong friends who started out as unknown names performing in modest venues across Canada. Their bond began in the early 2000s, during the rough-and-tumble days of independent wrestling. Despite having contrasting personalities, Sami being loud, energetic, and a bit of a rebel, while Kevin was more reserved, sharp, and direct, they somehow balanced each other perfectly. They spent countless nights driving across provinces for small gigs, splitting meager paychecks, and holding on to the shared dream of one day making it to the big stage of WWE. And when that chance finally came, they didn't walk through the doors alone. Owens and Zayn have always found ways to lift each other up, no matter the obstacles, be it losses, backstage politics, or the grueling grind of WWE's system. From their battles in NXT to their roller coaster journey on the main roster, they've written a story rich with twists and turns, friends, enemies, betrayals, and reunions. Every match between them carries real weight, not just for the audience but for them personally, because behind the performance is a history of years spent growing, pushing, and understanding one another like few others could. Even when their characters turned on each other in storylines, outside the ring, Kevin has always seen Sami as family. And Sami has openly admitted that without Kevin's support, he may not have had the perseverance to keep chasing the dream long enough to be recognized. Their friendship isn't flashy or overhyped. It was forged through sweat, setbacks, and silent sacrifices. In an industry built on scripts and showmanship, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are living proof that real friendship can exist, lasting from their days as nobodies to moments of championship glory. A bond so genuine, no storyline could ever capture its full depth. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, from strangers in a foreign land to WWE Brotherhood. In the world of WWE, where fame often walks hand in hand with pressure, genuine friendship is both rare and invaluable. For Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, their bond goes far beyond the ring. It's a brotherhood forged in struggle, loyalty, and years of shared dreams. What began as a friendship between two unknowns has grown into one of the most authentic relationships in WWE history. Their journey started in the independent wrestling circuits of the UK and Ireland. Back then, they were just two young men chasing the same dream, to make it to America and one day stand beneath the bright lights of WWE. Far from home, without family or support, they became each other's rock. They shared cheap hotel rooms, split meals, and, most importantly, pushed one another to keep going, no matter how tough things got. When they eventually made it to WWE, the road didn't magically get easier. Drew was released from the company and faced a serious crisis in his career, while Sheamus struggled to find his footing again after dealing with injuries. But through it all, they never lost sight of each other. Drew has often said that Sheamus was the one person who always answered the phone, not just to check in, but to push him, to remind him of who he was, and to help him find the fire to rise again. When Drew finally captured the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, it was Sheamus who was the first to greet him backstage, eyes filled with pride, having witnessed every hardship along the way. And when the two later clashed in the ring in brutal no-holds-barred matches, those battles only underscored the immense respect and trust they had for one another. The friendship between Sheamus and Drew doesn't need grand gestures or flashy moments. It's a connection built on years of grinding, late-night talks after losses, and unwavering belief in one another. In a business full of scripts and characters, their story is as real as it gets, one built on loyalty, sacrifice, and the kind of brotherhood that stands tall when everything else fades away. Edge and Christian, a lifelong bond that shaped a WWE dream. In the long history of WWE, few friendships have endured with the strength, loyalty, and depth of the one between Edge and Christian. More than just one of the most iconic tag teams to emerge from Canada's wrestling scene, they've been best friends since childhood, sharing every high and low, from their first steps into the ring to the pinnacle of championship glory. Their journey didn't start in WWE, but way back in the neighborhoods of Ontario, Canada, where two kids bonded over a mutual love for wrestling. They dreamed big together, watching matches on old TVs, imagining themselves one day standing on that grand stage. That shared passion led them to the same training schools, where a friendship transformed into something deeper, brothers not by blood, but by choice and commitment. When they entered WWE, they first made waves as part of the Brood, but soon exploded in popularity as the Team Edge and Christian. With their youthful charisma, quirky humor, and inventive in-ring style, they helped revolutionize tag team wrestling. Their performances in the legendary tables, ladders, and chairs matches became instant classics, etching their names into WWE history as innovators of the modern era. Even as their careers branched into successful solo runs, marked by distinct personalities and championship reigns, there was never a hint of toxic rivalry between them. Off-screen, Edge has always considered Christian his closest friend, someone who truly understands him in and out of the ring. Christian has said that Edge wasn't just a buddy, but the one who helped him survive some of the darkest periods in both his professional and personal life. When Edge was forced to retire due to a serious neck injury, Christian stood by him. And when Edge made his emotional return nearly a decade later, the first person he embraced in the ring was Christian, a heartfelt moment that brought fans to tears. Their friendship transcends titles, storylines, and even time. It's a bond born in childhood, forged through years of sacrifice and triumph, and still standing strong no matter where life takes them. Edge and Christian remain a rare reminder that in the theatrical world of WWE, some friendships are as real as they come, unwritten, unscripted, and absolutely unbreakable. Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, united by passion and purpose. In the high-stakes world of WWE, where constant competition is the norm and true friendships are rare, the connection between Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan stands out as something authentic. Their bond has never been about titles or rankings. It's rooted in a deep mutual understanding, shaped through years of chasing dreams, defying expectations, and pouring their hearts into the craft of wrestling. Long before they became household names under WWE's bright lights, both Rollins and Bryan spent years grinding it out on the independent circuit. They crossed paths at small events, wrestling in tough conditions far from the glamour, where the only thing that kept them going was sheer love for the sport. That shared beginning, marked by sacrifice, resilience, and relentless drive, created a foundation of respect and camaraderie that has only grown stronger over time. When they finally made it to WWE, they each carved distinct paths. Rollins emerged as the face of a new generation, while Bryan became the voice of the people. Despite their different trajectories, they always held each other in the highest regard. Rollins has openly credited Bryan as one of his biggest influences, especially admiring his unbreakable spirit and unwavering dedication. Likewise, Bryan has spoken with equal respect, calling Rollins one of the few people in the company he genuinely trusts and looks up to, not just for his in-ring talent, but for his work ethic and integrity. Every time they've faced off in the ring, it's never just about competition. Their matches are fueled by mutual belief and a shared goal of excellence. It's not about outshining each other, it's about bringing out the best in one another to create something truly memorable. The friendship between Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan doesn't need the spotlight. It's quiet, steady, and deeply real, just like their journey in professional wrestling, humble, passionate, and driven by respect. Roman Reigns, R-Truth, a unique friendship between two worlds. In a world where fierce competition is the norm, genuine friendship can often feel like a luxury. Yet amid countless relationships built solely for the screen, the bond between Roman Reigns and R-Truth stands out as something rare, authentic, lasting, and worthy of admiration. On paper, they couldn't be more different. One is stoic and commanding, the embodiment of the tribal chief. The other is energetic, humorous, and often downright goofy. And yet, they've discovered a deep connection, one that runs far deeper than appearances suggest. Roman Reigns, with his dominant presence and near-mythical persona, is not someone who opens up easily. But R-Truth, with his infectious energy, quick wit, and laid-back nature, has become someone who genuinely makes Roman feel at ease, a rare comfort in a high-pressure environment like WWE. Behind the scenes, the two often chat, crack jokes, and poke fun at each other with effortless charm. R-Truth has a way of making Roman laugh, something fans seldom witness from the serious in-ring character he portrays. Their friendship isn't built on momentary laughs, but on true understanding. R-Truth has been seen supporting Roman backstage before major matches, while Roman has stood up for truth against unwarranted criticism. Despite their differences in stature, fame, and demeanor, they've always maintained a sense of balance and mutual respect in their friendship. Roman once admitted that R-Truth is the one person in the WWE locker room who truly makes him feel relaxed, someone whose mere presence lightens the atmosphere. For R-Truth, Roman isn't just the top guy or a champion. He's a real friend, someone he trusts without hesitation. Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, a brotherhood born from the darkness. In the unpredictable world of WWE, where relationships can fall apart with a single fall in the ring, the bond between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt stands as something truly unique, a connection forged in the early days of the eerie Wyatt family. They weren't just teammates, they were kindred spirits, emerging from the shadows together to leave their mark on the wrestling world. Braun Strowman made his WWE debut under the ominous banner of the Wyatt family, a group shrouded in mystery and darkness. Bray Wyatt was the guiding force, the one who extended his hand to Braun, leading him step by step into the spotlight. From a silent monster, Braun learned to harness his rage, craft a presence, and mold his character, much of which stemmed from Bray's quiet mentorship and influence. Their friendship went far beyond the ring. Backstage, Bray was the one who listened, offered advice, and supported Braun through both professional struggles and personal hardships. They traveled the long roads together on tour, shared meals, trained side by side, and grew together within WWE's unforgiving environment. Even as their careers took separate paths, with Bray transforming into The Fiend and Braun rising as the unstoppable monster among men, the distance between them never grew. In every intense showdown, no matter how vicious the moves or brutal the blows, there was always an unspoken look, one filled with respect, understanding, and history. When Bray Wyatt tragically passed away, Braun Strowman was among the first to express his heartbreak publicly. In his words, he didn't just mourn a colleague, he grieved for a brother, a mentor, a true friend whose impact would forever remain etched in his career and his heart. Their friendship is proof that while the lights of the stage may one day fade, the bonds forged in truth, loyalty, and shared struggle endure forever. Big Show, Chris Jericho, the giant and the jokester duo with a timeless bond. In a world like WWE, where betrayal on screen is as common as a headlock, the real-life friendship between Big Show and Chris Jericho has surprised and earned the admiration of fans everywhere. On the surface, they seemed like total opposites. One a towering, intimidating giant with a serious demeanor, the other quick-witted, clever, and full of mischief. But it's precisely this contrast that forged a rock-solid connection lasting over a decade. Their time as the tag team, Jerry Show, remains a fan favorite. More than just a formidable duo in the ring, behind the scenes they were practically inseparable. Jericho's sharp humor and quick comebacks often drew out laughter from Big Show, something rarely seen from a man known for his stern television persona. Meanwhile, Big Show's calm, grounded nature made him a steady presence, someone Jericho could lean on during stressful times. Jericho has openly said that Big Show made him feel more relaxed than any other partner he's worked with, a huge compliment coming from someone who's teamed with the best in the business. Big Show, in turn, has always held deep respect for Jericho, admiring his unmatched creativity and relentless professionalism. Even after they moved on to different paths in their careers, their friendship never faded. Which friendship on this list surprised you the most? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on more fascinating behind-the-scenes stories from Wrestling Sphere.